Good evening, welcome to the latest live edition of Last Ball Boxing. We've got a motley crew tonight, haven't we? So I'll start off by saying the thank you. Sean, good evening.
Evening, guys.
Please, no political announcements on this show. Can we remain neutral? Daz, good evening.
Hello, mate. No, guys.
Lee, how you doing?
Evening. Evening, guys.
And Mr. Gladman, how you doing?
Other matchmakers are available because I got in trouble for
Thank
that.
God. Ander, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate.
Right, let's jump straight into the first topic before we insult each other anymore. So there's only one place to start this week, and that's with Eddie Hearn versus Simon Jordan on Talk Sport. So I see a smirk from Lee, so I'm going to go to Lee first. Lee, give us your thoughts about how this went down, and also who the winner was.
It would have been nice if Simon Jordan had let Eddie get a word in edgeways half the time, but I mean, it's not very often you say that, is it, with Eddie Hearn? But it was good. It was enjoyable, wasn't it? Credit to Eddie Hearn for going on there, and also credit to Simon Jordan. He did stick it on him. Felt like some of what he said, I thought he was probably a little bit misinformed. Sometimes I think Simon Jordan tries to sound smarter than he actually is. He fills it with big words, big sentences, and tries to back it up with what he thinks are facts, but they're not actually facts. But I thought Eddie come across well. I thought he was put on the spot a few times. I thought he answered the questions well. And when he said about you bankrupted Crystal Palace, he said, no, I didn't. I took him in. He said, oh well, you took him into administration then. I thought that was brilliant. I thought he had
that, did I?
No, I thought he had him there.
So in terms of the overall debate then, Lee, who do you think comes out on top?
I'd say Eddie Hearn, because he was the one being put on the spot, wasn't he? He was the one in the spotlight. He was the one that was meant to be being asked the tough questions and stuff that he wouldn't be able to wriggle out of, and didn't come out of there thinking, "Oh Christ, look what we found out today." You didn't really find out anymore. So yeah, you have to say Eddie. If there was a winner in it, it was Eddie.
Thank you very much. Sean, coming on to you next. You're not adverse to making a few statements on Twitter. So this is right up your street. So give us your thoughts then, Sean. How did you see it go down, and who do you think won the actual debate?
Yeah, I felt it was a good debate, to be honest. I don't think that we really knew much than we did already before going into this. I have to say that. But I think Eddie Hearn held his own against Simon Jordan, and I think Eddie won. But I guess I've got a bit of a bias towards that, him being a Crystal Palace owner. So, yeah, I think Eddie Hearn won.
Industry insider then. Let's move on to Jack. So, Jack, give us your view.
I mean, we didn't learn anything that we didn't already know, I don't think, but it was entertaining, let's be honest. It was entertaining. And credit to Simon Jordan in a little bit, in that he said he was going to put it on Hearn. Some of what he said was ridiculously misinformed, but he did actually put it on him. So, but I did think Eddie came out of it looking better than he did when he went in, which is probably why he did it.
I did like the bit where he says, "Talk Sport, if you need big numbers, feel free to bring me on again." That was quite funny.
Yeah.
So, Ander, I'm conscious, Dad, that you're not caught up with it yet, so I'll move straight to Ander. Ander, what were your views? Hello? Are you there, Andrew?
You broke up there. Sorry, you broke up there, mate. Say that again.
No worries. So I'll try again. So do you want to give us your views on the Jordan versus Hearn interview? I think he's building anticipation. I'm open.
That interested by it? It was just that silent.
Are you back with us?
I think I might be struggling a little bit with signal here, lads, but I'll try and muddle through. I think Eddie Hearn, like the lads have said, I do like the fact that Simon Jordan asked him questions, and the way he asked, no other outlets want to be blackballed, but Simon Jordan don't care. Teams, IFLs, boxing socials would never have gone anywhere near them questions with Eddie Hearn in the manner that Simon Jordan asked them. So good on him for that. But I think Eddie Hearn did all right, mate. We've not learned any more about Nigel Benn. about Conor Benn, though, because Eddie Hearn's not going to say anything else. And Jordan was trying to push him on that, wasn't he? Yeah, I think he came out of it okay. You know, they've been talking about it again today, so it's still a big topic. I think Jordan has tried to get one up on him again today with a few of the things he said, but yeah, it is what it is, mate. It was a good listen.
The only thing that concerns me is I listened to a Callum Sowland interview today, and it does seem to be a rhetoric coming out from Hearn and Sowland where they're slowly but surely trying to shift the emphasis on the British Boxing Board of Control.
Yeah.
And I think, it just alarms me a little bit because I don't think any of them handled it particularly great there.
The one thing that came out of it for me, Carl, was that Simon Jordan, obviously, he interviewed British
Smith.
Boxing Board, didn't he?
Smith, yeah.
Rob Smith, yeah, and Robert Smith gave his version of events. All of these events were conversations behind closed doors with Eddie Hearn and with Calla. Eddie Hearn comes on and gives his version of the events, which are completely different, and Calla's come on and gave his version, which are completely different to the British Boxing Board as well. So it's going to be a case of who do you believe, because you're never going to find the full truth out, because it was a private conversation, though, Jack.
Colours are a lot closer to Eddie's than they are to the boards, though.
Of course.
Good point. Inside,
and the promoters that work with each other, and they were both in the firing line for that particular event, weren't they? So they're going to get the story straight. They're going to stick together. So that was the only thing that I thought to myself, well, you're never going to find the full truth out about that.
Just a comment up in the sidebar. Imran, just 1 minute, Jack. Good evening, Imran. So Imran says Simon Jordan said Eddie Hearn should be sanctioned. And he did say that.
To be honest with you, Carl, he's still trying to put Conor Benn fights on. He actually said it himself. He's gonna make Conor Benn against Eubank if he can. And that's a fighter that still isn't fully clear. Yeah, he can go and fight elsewhere, and that's what's going to happen. It'll be in Saudi, and that's what Simon Jordan's saying is.
Nevada who've just cleared him.
Oh yeah, all them. So
Nevada
that's what Simon Jordan's basically saying there is. Hold on a minute. He's forever banging on about fighters and doping and UCAD but all of a sudden when it suits in. It kind of it's all right for him to put a file on that's failed a drug test. And Jordan's saying there, the way he's right.
Have you seen the latest thing from Nevada though? Because they've pretty much thrown UCAD under the bus.
What have they said, Jack?
They basically said that they have evidence that VADA testing was at that time was compromised. They don't ever allude to exclusively to the Conor Benn test, and that is why they will clear Conor Benn to fight in Nevada against the wishes of the British Boxing Board of Control.
Okay, well, I'm not. Let's not go over the old Conor Benn thing again. We've done it over the last 2 weeks, so I'll draw that to a line there, and let's move on to the next topic.
Can I just say? I mean, I've not seen the Simon Jordan, Eddie Hearn. I've not seen that. So I'm not going to comment on it. The reason why I watched it, not really my cup of tea, Mr. Jordan. Really. He had my reasons, but from a boxing trainer's point of view, none of this would be happening if Conor Benn hadn't cheated. Simple as. Listen. He stuck a needle in his backside to get an advantage in an already dangerous sport. He's been caught. Like I said last week, put your hands up, take your punishment, show your 270-page piece of rubbish toilet roll, and then get on with it.
I didn't want to go to the drugs part of it, but let me just play devil's advocate with you then, Daz.
Go on, mate.
So, and this isn't me justifying it in any stretch, but I'm just posing the question. Why is he spending so much money on the legal case and also on science if he thinks if he's guilty? He must believe he's innocent, surely. That's me playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. The thing is, when it come out what had been found in his system, I had 4. Well, they're ex-competing bodybuilders. 4 of them rang me and said he's been caught on a cycle, coming off a cycle. I says, what do you mean? And he went, well, that basically, when you come off a steroid cycle, your testosterone level's really low. That is what bodybuilders take to boost the testosterone back up. That drug, clomiphene, whatever it is, I can't remember.
Clomifene, yeah.
Yeah, that is. So that's from 4 competing bodybuilders who have taken it themselves for that reason. I'm not going to name them, but that's what they've done. And they said he's been caught. He's been caught at the end of a cycle. And it's like, I mean, listen, if he's innocent and that's not what's happened, he's the unluckiest man I've ever known. Because how else has that happened?
I'm just wondering why he's not, pardon the pun, I'm just wondering why he's not just took his medicine though, he doesn't take the ban then.
Do you know what, mate? It's a great question. It's a great question because I mean, if he takes his medicine and takes his ban, he's going to be forever labelled a drug cheat, isn't he?
Yeah.
While ever he's fighting, there is not, whether he is or not. While ever he's fighting, there is not. There's always that little bit where people say, no, he's not. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a hard situation, but I just think, how can how can that be in your system? I mean, what was this eggs thing? Was that the WBC or something with that?
Yeah, that didn't come from
Ben. No, it didn't come from Conor, did it? I didn't think it did. Come on. It's like, how else has that got in your system? How else has that drug got in your system?
I find it really odd, though, for Nevada to come out and be like, they never go against any of the big governing bodies. When the British board, when discovered about the Gerald Miller thing, Nevada were the first one to jump down a ban. It's very unusual for them to go against anyone.
Well, I will say as well.
Know what they know, we don't, because I think there must be something.
I will say as well, there's probably, apart from the usual suspects, there's probably no one as disappointed than me if it is the case that Conor has cheated, because I was a big fan of Conor.
I was the same, mate.
Yeah, big fan of Conor.
The trouble is the board aren't suspending him or stopping him boxing because of the drug test, are they? Because they can't. It's whatever he's got legally that's the case that's stopping him boxing. It's nothing to do with the drugs test.
You know what?
I don't think that's right. I think it is because
the drugs test, Sean.
You can't suspend him because he hasn't got a license. It's in their rules. If you're not licensed, so if I get my license back tomorrow but committed fraud before I did it, they wouldn't suspend me.
There's a word, Jack, and I can't remember what it is. Simon Jordan used it today. It's basically that it's not a case of proving that you haven't taken it. It's a case of proving if it's accidental, how has it got in your system?
Yeah.
That's what
that's what I mean.
Exactly. And
personal litigation.
Like I said,
what is it, Sean?
I think it's personal litigation, isn't it? So
that's the one.
So that's
that's it.
Got to do.
That's it. Because I've seen athletes get flagged on that before, where they've got TUEs that have expired, and they had to justify why they hadn't renewed them, and it was still in their system. Flagged, and I know, and I'm not going to name them.
Jack, don't name him. While we're talking about Conor Benn, let's do it from a slightly different angle. So, he's going to fight in June. Eddie Hearn said he's going to fight in June. There's been a lot of names banded about. I'll start with you on Jack on this one as an infamous matchmaker. So you're Conor Benn's matchmaker. You know the names that are being banded around, Jack. Where would you take him?
Personal opinion, and this is taking all the moral side out of it because I wouldn't want him fighting, but that's from name value. As much as I don't want to see the fight, Pacquiao.
Ooh.
Name value alone, I don't want to see the fight, but I know it would be the one that a promoter would pressure me to do. I'd imagine.
Yeah. What about, again, taking all the morals out of it? It's going to happen, though, Lee. So we may as well debate who we think it's going to be. So who do you think it's going to be, Lee?
I thought it was nailed on for Pac, but
don't look like it, does it?
Doesn't look like it so much now. I think they want the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. That's what I think. Yeah, I just don't see how that fight makes sense over there, though. That's the one that's what I can't get my head around. I don't see how that
makes the least sense out of any of them.
Makes the most money out of any of them, though, Jack.
I'd like to see him fight Brook, to be honest. If he's going to fight, I'd like to see him fight Kell Brook. I'd like to see Kell Brook get that payday.
Is that, Lee, just a question, is that any bigger than the Eubank Jr. fight over in the Middle East?
No.
Just
probably the one I'd prefer to see right now. I mean, I think when you put it back in perspective now, they were weight categories apart. Obviously, there was always the rehydration. I don't see how now you can go back to the same terms they agreed before. I just think it's just too much. But I don't know.
It's just beaten Khan, who had a decent following in the Middle East, though, hasn't he? So,
Sean,
have a bit of a fan base there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Kell Brook. I think that probably makes the most sense out of all of the names mentioned. As you said, the Eubank one doesn't make sense in the Middle East, and I just think Kell Brook, Abu Dhabi or Dubai, I think that's what they'll go for.
Under?
I think the Eubank fight makes the most money. I don't really go along with this. It don't make sense in the Middle East thing, because at the end of the day, it's just a venue. Doesn't matter where it is.
Pay-per-view bars are going to hold this one up, isn't it?
The thing is, right, because of DAZN being what it is, doesn't matter where the fight's held. The only thing they lose is the gate from the UK, but then that gets made up by the site fee. So
yeah, but that's if they're prepared to pay a site fee, a decent site fee.
They will do. It won't be massive, Lee, but it'll be just as big as they would make from a gate fee in the UK. Because what's the biggest venue that if it was Eubank, what's the biggest venue it's likely to be at? The O2 or the Manchester Arena?
Yeah,
it don't sell Wembley out.
It could be a stadium fight now. That it could not maybe not.
I'm not convinced it's
not a Wembley stadium.
Yeah, not a
I'm
Wembley.
not convinced it sells a stadium out. So to me, where it is,
I reckon there'd be more eyes on Conor Benn's next fight than there would have been before all of this.
Yeah, there will be, because people
in a perverse kind of way. Yeah,
it's people who watch. It's a sickening thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
People just going to watch for the sickness value. I don't think it matters. My personal opinion is that I think it'll be Eubank.
I do,
because I think that makes the most money.
What about you, Daz?
It's easy to make for Sauerland as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Daz.
Who do I want it to be, or who do I think it's going to be?
Think it'll be, Daz?
Whichever way you want it. However you want to answer it, Daz, you answer it.
I want it to be Jaron Ennis.
No chance, but yeah.
Yeah, I know
that's not going to happen.
Well, I know that, but I'd like it.
There is two Americans that is in talks with, though, Jack. So never say never.
One of them ain't going to be him because he'd lose.
Well, we know that he'd lose royally as well. which, you know.
But, as well.
No,
that's the thing.
I get a bit thingy when I talk about Conor Benn, because I take it a bit personal when I think people are drug cheat. So I'll take that out of it, and I think it'll be Kell Brook. If I'm honest.
I'm going Eubank Jr.
I'll tell you why I think it's Eubank Jr. Because Eubank, he was very quick to want the rematch with Liam Smith. And I think he's looked at it since and gone, do I really want that smoke?
And he'll earn twice as much money fighting.
He will,
Eubank
yeah.
Jr.
You're right. He will against Ben. I just don't think he wants a live opponent, Eubank. I really don't. I think he wants it all in his own favour. And I truly believe going into that first fight against Liam Smith, he thought he'd walk through Smith.
What do you think?
I think he thought Liam was over the hill.
What do you guys think would have happened had it been Conor Benn?
I think Conor Benn would have knocked him out like
performance, yeah.
Like Liam did.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Eubank's got anything left at that weight.
And another question before I move on to the next one: where does that leave Liam Smith?
He'll probably get someone like Triple G or a final eliminator or something like that for a middleweight world title, I would have thought.
I know he's leaning on Ben Shalom to get him a big fight next, so let's hope Ben Shalom can pull something out the fire. Smith's going to want the big name at this stage. Say again, Jack.
Mandatory at 154, so he'd get Charlo if.
No,
he's WBC mandatory. They called it the other day.
Here's one for you. How about Tim Tszyu, the hype job?
Don't rate him, do you?
That's a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah, they spoke before, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Liam Smith will travel to Australia if the pound notes there.
He's been made number one in the WBC middleweight rankings, hasn't it?
Yes.
I think that's the route they're going to go down, the middleweight.
Yeah, I just think Liam Smith's been left out in the cold a little bit on this one. Moving on. So the good news just continues, guys, tonight. So we'll come to you on this one. We'll go to Andy first then. So as the good news continues in boxing, Fury Usyk is off. Andy, take it away.
It's just complete pantomime, mate. I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Let's move on. What did Fury think was going to happen? Usyk bent over, did everything possible to make this fight happen. What other fighter, Cole? Name me another fighter that had 3 belts would have took a 30% split for this fight.
Yeah.
It's an absolute disgrace from Tyson Fury.
Let's do that against Mayweather. That.
Disgraceful. Usyk's manager has come out today and said
against Mayweather.
Usyk's manager has come out today and said that if the fight would have gone ahead, he would have earned a third less than the second fight against AJ on that split. But he still accepted it because that's how much he wanted to be undisputed. But then Fury starts putting other things in. Don't ask for a rematch. Don't ask for this. Don't ask for that. Apparently, the reason it's fell through is because eventually Fury accepted the rematch clause, but he wasn't happy with the split that Usyk wanted if Usyk won the first fight.
See, Warren's arguing that. Warren's come out tonight and says he never even started negotiating the rematch splits. They just pulled the plug.
Bullshit. That's bullshit, Cole. That's bullshit. He's
trying to I would believe that. And there's a
bullshit,
reason
Jack.
I believe that.
No,
and there's a reason I believe that.
Hold on a minute,
right?
Jack.
Andy,
Jack,
I'll tell you exactly why I believe
then.
that. No, because there's someone who would have been very close to that team, a certain fighter who stupidly, and it got deleted very quickly because it clearly was true.
Can't hear him.
The split that Usyk wanted.
Jack, your audio's breaking up a little
that
bit,
split,
Jack.
he is never thing.
Jack, your audio's breaking up.
This particular. Can you hear me now? Audio back.
You're very quiet, mate.
It's been going in and out the whole time.
Do you want to put your headphones in, Jack? Normally solves it, doesn't it?
I've got headphones in. Headphones in.
Oh, you got them in.
Yeah, this particular fight.
Can't hear you, Jack.
Accidentally.
Jack, try and solve your audio, fella, and then come back in. Andy, carry on with your point.
So the point I was making was, you can't sign the first fight until you've agreed the details for the rematch clause for the second fight. That's the way it works. So for Frank Warren to turn around and say that they haven't spoken about the rematch clause is complete bollocks, Carl. He's trying to save face because he knows Fury's being greedy again for the second fight. He's basically, the way it's gone down is this. Usyk's gone, okay, I'll accept 70-30. We'll have a rematch. But in the rematch, if I win the fight, I want 70-30 probably.
I believe that's
Fury's
what it was.
gone, well, no, because even if you win the fight, I'm still the A side. And that's where
He
it's
wanted
broken down.
50-50,
So you know,
didn't he?
that's exactly what's happened.
He wanted 50-50 in the rematch if Usyk won, which is it's not fair.
No, it's not fair. This fight's not happened because of Tyson Fury. Simple as that.
100%.
And this is right. It don't matter how good Fury is in this era. When it goes down in history, it will be known as the fighter that could have been the first ever 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion, and the fight didn't happen because of him.
Yeah.
Lee, I know you've thrown a few comments in, Lee, but give us your thoughts.
I think he's hitting the nail on the head. I think exactly the same thing. It's clearly come down to, I think obviously Usyk said, right, I'll call you bluff. I'll go 70-30, not a problem. But in the rematch clause, if I beat you, I'm the A side. I'll have all 4 belts. So we do it on my terms. It's 70-30 the other way. If you want it like that, it works 2 ways. But if it's a 1-fight deal, then it's 50-50. You can't get undisputed without the other 3 belts that he holds. No. I don't care about who the bigger name is. It's irrelevant. People say it is, but no, it's not. When it comes down to it being an undisputed fight, you need those 2 fighters in order to make it. You need both of them. You can't sell seats without the other one because it's not an undisputed fight then. So I thought it should have been 50-50 from the off. But fair enough, he's taken the hit, maybe 60-40, but he's on 70-30. But if he wins that, he deserves the lion's share of the rematch. There's no doubt about that. And if you're not going to give that to him, and you're saying, oh, no rematch, just do it 50-50 then. You're still going to make a hell of a lot of money, and you're talking about legacy. I'm not being funny, but they're talking about money that we could only ever dream of seeing, whether it's 50-50, 70-30, or 90-10. They're still both making more money than we'll ever wish to see. So why not think about the legacy and go for that? Nah,
I'll just make a couple of comments up on the side, then I'll come to you, Jack. So Imran says, this is worse than Bo versus Lewis. Look at Bo. Look how Bo is viewed now because of that.
Yep.
Ryan Rourke says, how is it irrelevant who the bigger name is? How many tickets does Dubois Usyk sell at Wembley?
Is that for undisputed though, Ryan?
Well, the answer is no, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Jack, do you want to finish off your point, if we can hear you?
Right, my point was, this is a certain individual who we can all probably guess, but I'm not going to name. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it keeps coming in and out though, Jack.
I don't know why that is.
So I just put this comment away, work it out, Jack. So Ryan says, Ryan Garcia got the tank fight because his Instagram followers. That makes more than undisputed Haney fight.
What's that got to do with heavyweight boxing?
So I'll move on to you, Sean. Sean, do you want to give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think ultimately anyone's so surprised it's not happening, are we? I've been sort of very dubious if this fight will happen for the last couple of weeks, as we've been getting closer to the date of the proposed fight. And ultimately, as you both said, Fury is to blame. And, you know, I don't think anyone can really challenge that or on any level. You know, Usyk bowed down to him. And you know,
I would
think a
challenge
lot
his
of people
solely
are
to blame.
Fury now and have seen who he really is. Ultimately, he just sort of likes to live up to social media hype, and I think he's been found out to a level. And, you know, full credit to Usyk. He accepted all of Fury's demands. He, as I said, he bent over for him, pardon the pun. And you know, it's just a shame. But I think Usyk's has definitely come out this the better of the two of them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd agree on that, Sean. I mean, one thing I would say is the latest rumours is Manuel Charred being mooted for Tyson Fury. Can you believe that? Dad,
I mean,
to you. Jack, I'll come back to you 1 minute, fella. Dad, give us your breakdown on it.
Manuel Charles just thrown me. I'm a bit dubious to comment on negotiations and when they break down and this and over, because of a simple fact, we're not there.
Good point.
Right, we're not there. Obviously, Fury's going to blame Usyk's side.
Yeah.
Obviously, Usyk's going to blame Fury's side. That's just going to happen. I do think, talking about it from what's been reported, Usyk, if the case is that Usyk accepted 70-30, which he did, I believe, and then said, look, if I beat you in rematch, I get 70-30. I think that's totally fine. That's a totally reasonable request. I mean, for me, I think we discussed this last week. It should be 50. It should have been 50, 50, 60, 40 at least for me. Anyway, but like I said, no, only the people that were there, that were that was involved in the negotiations, know what has happened 100%. However, it all boils down to this isn't great. It's not great at all.
Not great for boxing, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's a bit of a farce, isn't it? It's a bit, it's a farce, to be fair. But it's like, these blaming these, he's blaming these. But I do think no matter, listen, I mean, Tyson Fury's been on calling Usyk a shithouse a lot tonight on Twitter. Listen, I'll be totally honest with you. Even if Usyk was to blame for the breakdown, even if that's the case, I still, Usyk's coming out of this with a massive amount of credit. Usyk's coming out of the bet. I mean, I don't know who's to blame. I want there. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Fury's undone some of his good PR work, hasn't he, with this over the last, he's come a long way last few years with all the efforts he's made.
Yeah. Do you know the frustrating thing as well is I think he wins the fight all day long.
Yeah, I do.
I bet you there's a lot of fans that would have wanted Fury to win that might not be so sure now if that was to happen.
Mate, honestly, do you know this might sound a bit daft, but do you know if Usyk won the undisputed titles, I think he'd be proud as punch to hold him. And I don't think undisputed means anything to Tyson.
No, I don't.
And it's a shame. But I just think that, it goes down to me. I think I had a conversation with someone the other day. For me, if Tyson beats Usyk, beats Joe Joyce, which won't be easy, by the way, beats Joe Joyce, and then maybe AJ, if AJ gets himself back in a position, it goes down as greatest heavyweight of his generation, surely.
Yeah, Joe Joyce has called for him to sort their apps out and just get the fight on because he wants a winner.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Tyson beats Joe Joyce, but it's not. It won't be easy.
No.
But
it stinks though, don't it? Does it? Even if it isn't about Tyson being a bit unsure about Usyk's skill level, but it looks, from my perspective, it looks like Tyson Fury's putting that many hurdles in the way that he don't really want it. And that's probably not the case, because I think Tyson Fury.
I don't. Listen, I don't buy that for me. I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying that Fury's afraid of him and all that.
I don't think he's afraid of him.
It's a load of rubbish.
But it don't look good, does it?
But
people are making those comments because of how Fury's acting.
But I do side with the fact that other people saying just greedy.
Yeah,
just greedy.
The thing you've got now, though, guys. The thing you've got now is that the mandatories are starting to get called. The WBA, the WBA, the IBF are already arguing over who should be the next mandatory.
Well, WBA gave him to the 1st of April to sort this one out, haven't they? Or they're going to call their mandatory.
So the point I'm making, Carl, is this: if this undisputed fight is off completely, it doesn't happen, we're never going to get an undisputed heavyweight champion.
Do you know the thing is, lads, as well, right? For me, it goes down. I don't think it'd happen. I don't think Dubois would ever beat Usyk, but let's say Dubois beats Usyk, lands some sort of shot from heaven, and then Usyk, I don't know, retires. So then Tyson beats Dubois for undisputed heavyweight championship at World. Listen, people are forever gonna say, yeah, but you never fought Usyk.
Yeah.
Yep.
You never fought Usyk.
It's a bit like Josh Taylor and Catterall, isn't it? If Josh Taylor never jumps in with Catterall again,
people are going to say, listen, yeah, you are the undisputed world, and you are possibly the best heavyweight of your generation, but you didn't fight Alexander Usyk. Now, if he beat Usyk and then beat Joyce and then beat AJ, then retires, without doubt, greatest heavyweight of his generation. No
right, Ryan O'Rourke's come back in the side and he says, "What's that got to do with it? Because you're saying all the money is because it's undisputed. Any Tank Davis would be an undisputed fight, but Tank gets more for exhibition fight for Garcia.
I think that's a bit more than an exhibition fight.
I do as well.
I was going to say, I think that's a bit harsh.
Jack.
Yeah, a little bit harsh, that.
Why are they saying I don't honestly believe Haney and Tank is a good fight, but honestly, Garcia and Tank is still a good fight, so I don't really understand that.
No.
Between all them lightweights, the top lightweights, is there a bad fight?
No.
Do you know what I mean? There's no bad fight between any of them.
No.
Go on then, Jack. Give us your view on Usyk.
I think Fury. I'm a bit like Daz in that I don't want to say about negotiations because I'm not there. But I just think it's very strange that a tweet appears from someone close to Fury and then he deletes it within 10 minutes that had a lot of facts on it. Now, he's clearly been told to delete that.
I didn't see it.
Usyk's team in a very different light.
But has that been done for the exact reason that it's happening? Someone's going to see it. It's going to spread like wildfire.
It's exactly what it's been done, Daz.
If I've seen it all before. Seen it all before. It's like
between me and you, though. Do you
go on?
Isaac Lowe, the person who put it out.
What, you know him?
No, he put it out on social media, then deleted it 10 minutes later.
That's what I mean.
He's done that to get a reaction, Jack.
Was he told to put what?
Yeah, but does anyone really believe that Isaac Lowe think that far ahead? Come on.
Listen, give
that good at marketing. Brilliant.
Jack, maybe he's been told to do it.
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you something now.
A random person to do it.
Travelers aren't as daft as sometimes they'd have.
Very astute. Very astute.
He doesn't seem
clever. Very clever. It goes back to that. Listen, like I commented earlier, I weren't there at negotiations, but if this fight doesn't happen, it's terrible. And
there's only one positive out of this for me. There's only one positive out of this for me. I don't think Dubois takes the fight, so we're probably going to get one of the nicest men in boxing from experience, getting a world title shot.
Dubois will take the fight.
Yeah,
He
he
will.
I don't think Dubois will. I don't think
definitely.
I think Warren will advise him against it.
Why
Against
would
who?
he not? Why would he not
Chamber,
take the fight?
and we'll make him take it.
Yeah.
They can have the WBA. His choices are hold on to the WBA regular or the Usyk fight.
He can't go
because he won't take it.
As a professional fighter, he can't. I mean, he cannot turn down the fight with Usyk. He can't because.
Mark my words, right? He will turn it down, and Martin Bakole will get the world title shot.
Well, that's
Oh
my
my
word.
days!
That's
What's he gonna earn for? What's he gonna earn for fighting Bakole? Never mind Dubois. Peanuts.
I know.
Well,
but Bakole's next in line, so he will have no choice. He will have to hold the belt.
What's your rationale in Dubois turning it down, Jack?
Warren will be trying to build him because Dubois is still very young, and we're not. I don't think matchmaking wise, Warren will want to put Dubois in with Usyk.
I think he'll cash out on Dubois. Dubois has been to the summit once and got found wanting. So if he's lucky enough to get another world title shot, throw him in.
Personal opinion, he won't do it, and I believe Bakole will get the shot.
Wow,
it's interesting.
Interesting.
This is all. This is all.
Going to beat him.
All a bit of a. This is all a farce. Farce, in my opinion.
We're only talking about this because Fury Usyk's not happening.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke. With all due respect to Daniel Dubois and Bakole, neither of them currently deserve a world title shot.
No.
I would argue Bakole deserves to be an eliminator.
That's not a title shot, though, is it?
That's not a title shot, Jack.
The only reason he was supposed to fight Dubois, but the only reason he might get a world title shot is because of this falling apart.
I understand Bakole's challenges.
One question to Jack. Sorry, Carl. One question to Jack. Bakole's apparently really, really dangerous, and he's given people loads and loads of trouble in sparring. But Jack, who is he actually for?
Yes. Not for any fault of his own, I might add. But
not for any fault of his own. Stepped up twice, got beat once, won once. And admittedly, the one he got beat by was a cruiserweight, but.
And Billy Nelson does a great job with him. Been on the channel, nice guy, you know, and I rate Bakole.
Nice guy, yeah.
Yeah, top fella, Billy.
I just think he's He's going from League 2 to Premier League, and he needs them learning fights for me, Bakole, before jumping in with Usyk.
Dubois, for me, Dubois,
I'll be grateful for him.
For me, Dubois is going to sit there, and Dubois is going to think, listen, if I, whether it's misplaced confidence or not, Dubois is going to think, listen, if I hit Usyk flush on chin, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he will.
He's in trouble. He said, if I hit him flush on chin, he's in trouble.
And I agree. I agree. If he can do it.
Yeah, whether he gets to hit him on chin, flush, is a different matter. But, how much more are you going to build someone who's a supposed WBA world champion, regular champion? How much more are you going to build him? Listen, put him in. And who's to say he's not going to learn something from it?
Jack.
No matter what?
Sorry, Daz. Jack, if he turns this fight down against Usyk, where does that put him in the rankings? Does he get dropped back out the top 10?
So he keeps his regular title. So the option with the regular title is always to be their mandatory.
So he keeps on being mandatory until there's a world champion that he thinks he can beat.
Basically, yeah. Or he loses the belt. He has to keep fighting every certain number of months to keep the belt.
Look, I'm not a matchmaker or anything, Jack. But if I'm anything to do with Dubois' management team and I get the chance to fight Usyk, I ain't turning it down. Do you believe in your fighter or not?
There's no chance, not even a 1% chance in my mind he turns that fight down.
I'm not saying it's what I do. I'm saying it's what I predict they will do.
No. Never.
Personally, I
The
would
thing
take
is,
the fight if I was him.
Jack, they've orchestrated this position for him because let's be right, the WBA regular belt was handed to him, wasn't it?
At least we're all in agreement on that.
So they've orchestrated him being in the mandatory position by making him the WBA regular champion.
Why are you there if you're not going to take your shot?
Exactly.
This was always on the horizon, wasn't it? It was always coming, wasn't it? This shot.
Yeah.
Listen, while I don't think he'll win, anyone with an heartbeat and fists and power has got a chance in any fight.
Of course.
He's not
know
listen, let's be right. He's not totally. It's not a 99.9% chance he's going to lose.
No.
I know it does.
It's
You know,
99.
when I watched him live.
99.8. No,
when I watched him live at Tottenham, Daz, in December, he got dropped a couple of times, didn't he, in that fight?
Yeah, listen. I'm not saying for 1 minute. I don't think he'll win. I don't think he will. You know, I'd go with thing that I think Usyk could bash him up and stop him late, maybe.
You could just outbox him and then stop him.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd happen. But if he catches Usyk, because let's be right, Usyk's not exactly unhittable. Do you know what I mean? He is a very good fighter, but he's not exactly unhittable. You know.
Let me just put this comment up in the side. So Ryan says, and does Jack think Frank Warren would accept that paying Dubois decent money for bums? Then they get the chance to get their money back on him. Then allow him to say no and keep fighting nobodies. It's a fair point, Jack.
I think he's trying to look for it long term because I think he's looking at it in the way that Usyk won't be around forever. Fury won't be around forever. You do realise if Usyk was to give up the WBA title, Dubois becomes world champion.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what they might do. Is just try and avoid the Usyk fight to make Dubois world champion by default.
Usyk's not getting any belts up.
No.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think he fights that long.
No,
I think he's probably got 3-4 fights left.
He won't give the belts up though, Jack. He'll fight.
Yeah.
He'll fight the belts. He won't give them up.
No. And
yeah, I know.
The only thing he won't do is earn anywhere near the money he would have done
Dubois
before.
won't.
He'll have a shot at the WBC before he retires, whether that's against Tyson Fury or whoever's holding it at the time. I don't think he'll retire till he has a shot at the WBC.
I agree.
So against Andy Ruiz then, because I think he'll beat Wilder. So.
Oh, I'll have a pint on that with you. Not that I'm endorsing gambling, I might add a beg.
Yeah. I'll give you that one. Go on.
But I'll have a Twix bar and a can of Coke on that one with you.
Andy Ruiz is absolutely made for Deontay Wilder, Jack.
He will tee off on him. That's what he'll do.
I think Wilder will underestimate him. Exactly like AJ did. I think Wilder will underestimate him.
Wilder will land and knock him out.
yeah. It's
the Ortiz fight. It'll be just like the Ortiz fight. Ruiz will be winning, and then it will just be done.
The problem is Ruiz is too easy to hit.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was going to say for all Ruiz's skill, he's not exactly
unhittable believer, but
he's not exactly elusive. Listen, Deontay Wilder is a freak of nature.
Yeah,
he is a huge power puncher.
And he can take them as well. He can take a punch.
Yeah, he can.
I thought he showed a lot of art in that last Fury fight, didn't he? He showed a lot of art.
He did, mate. He did. Yeah, he's, he come out of that with a lot of credit. He's not just he's predominantly known for his power, but yeah, he's shown a lot of guts in that fight. A lot of guts, and do you know what? That makes him a problem for anybody.
Yeah,
anybody. I mean, the guy's an absolute freak of nature. I mean, I don't think. I mean, people speak of Ernie Shavers and stuff, about being biggest heavyweight hitter, but Ernie with thick set.
There's never a truer word, Dad, when he says to Fiore, "You've got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only need to be perfect for 1 second."
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, he is, and I don't know. I mean, does he switch every other heavyweight's lights out? We want it. You know,
I've got on record as saying I think he beats Usyk.
Oh, Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think he switches Joyce off on it?
No.
Oh, no, that's
the one I was going to ask.
Now that is an
That
intriguing
fight I want to
fight.
see.
Or
you need a
does
wrecking ball to destroy Joyce, don't you?
well,
Saying that though, Lee, he can't keep going to the well.
no.
There's going to be a fight where that punch resistance is gone. That's my
Say
prediction.
that.
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Say, at some point, his chin's going to go, and it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I hope before that happens, he
World title first.
he's earned his money. He's had his shot.
Agreed.
And I hope he's out because he seems like a genuine top fella, Joe.
Well, Andy will tell you I've backed him for a
He's a
long
really
time.
nice guy.
And I think when Andy talks about the trajectory of Conor Benn, let's talk about Joe Joyce's trajectory since coming into the pro game.
Yeah, listen,
It's up and up, hasn't it?
I'm one of them. I'll put my hands up, and I actually tweeted Joe as well. I actually tweeted him after his pro debut. They were talking about, well, he can do this, and there are a few more fights, and I went, he's not doing anything. He's a robot. He's like so slow. He's going to get.
That's what I thought as well, Dad.
He's going to get pinged from pillar to post. And I thought Dubois were going to put him to sleep. I'll be honest. I held my hands up. I says, listen, as hard as Dubois is and as open as Joyce is, this is going to be scary. This is going to be.
Joseph Parker said he's quite. It's okay saying that, but he gives people problems. Everyone who he's been in with has come out and says.
Well, I said about the Dubois fight. I says my prediction were Dubois were just going to absolutely smash him to bits. And
I've got to jump off, guys. I'll catch you.
I mean, nobody does that to Joe Parker, do they? Nobody does that.
Basically, mate, I tweeted Joe Joyce and says, I tweeted Joe Joyce and went, mate, I picked Dubois to smash you to bits. And how wrong did I get it? You're a Terminator, mate. I take my hat off to you. I won't like. I said, if you say it's Christmas, I'll start singing carols.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's a tough man, but part of me won't want to see that fight just for the sake of can he take Wilder's power? Because if he gets old in that fight,
dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic. We're going to move on to the next topic. I'm conscious of time. So, Benavidez versus Plant. I think this is a great fight. Early hours of Sunday morning. Super middleweight contest. Jack, I'll come to you first. Who are you picking to win this one?
Honestly, I can't. I'm going to have to sit on the fence because I genuinely don't know. Very much. I would probably edge it slightly towards Benavidez. One, I wouldn't be shocked. That's the thing. I genuinely couldn't pick it. It's a pick 'em fight. It's what you like, isn't it? It's a great fight.
Well, it's a bit of an Andy answer you're giving here, Jack. You know, I thought you might pick one.
Andy, you've got to agree with me though. It is a pick 'em fight.
Don't give Andy any excuses to sit on the fence even more.
I'm looking for his help here.
Hey Jack, your last band, you got to pick it. You got to pick one winner to fight. I can't believe I do this scenario.
Pick one, Benavidez.
We got there in the end. So I know Sean gives a straight answer, so I'll come to Sean next before I go to Andy. Sean?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Benavidez. I have been for the last 2 or 3 years. I think he stops Plant in about 9 or 10, and I think it will be fairly one-sided too.
Really?
And
there's a reason Canelo does not want to fight Benavidez, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're both from Mexico, like Canelo makes out. Benavidez is an absolute killer. Benavidez stops Plant late on.
Does?
I don't know, mate. I mean, Benavidez is a bit of a beast, like, but I don't know. Who would you say best name on his record? Durrell.
David Lemieux.
Nah, mate, he's a light middleweight.
Yeah.
Lemieux's a light middleweight.
That's the problem, Daz, isn't it? He's been avoided. Nobody wants to go near him.
Best person he's faught's Dirrell.
Yeah.
I mean, Plant, you know, he's been in with. I think Plant's been in with better caliber.
He has.
This is where I think it's a case. It's either going to be Caleb Plant, quality mate, quality, or it's going to be a wow factor. Yeah, Benavidez, wow, superstar. And I think if Plant wins, it's going to be points. Benavidez wins, it's going to be a late KO maybe. And for my prediction, I believe that Benavidez is what everyone thinks he is. So I think it's going to be a late stoppage, I think, for Benavidez.
I'm going round 7, Benavidez. I think he's a bit fresher.
I'm going about 9 or 10, I'd say.
One more question off the back of this, Carl, before we move on. If Benavidez destroys Plant in really good fashion, can Canelo avoid him after that?
I think he
Surely
can.
He's got to fight him, hasn't he?
I think he can. I mean, he's talking about Bivol after Ryder, isn't it?
Oh, Christ. Here we go again.
Yeah. I think he can. And I don't think he wants any Benavidez. You know, that would have been perfect for the Ryder. I know Ryder's mandatory, but, you know, why has he not fought Benavidez up to now? Mexican derby, builds out a football.
That would have been in Mexico on Cinco de Mayo. Why would they not do that? If Ryder wasn't mandatory, I mean.
Canelo just don't want it.
No, I don't think he does. So, final topic of the night. I've lumped this in together. Obviously, we got a couple of cards on this weekend. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, especially, obviously, Channel 5 goes Friday night. You've got, I will mention the Carl Greech fight on Saturday night in Leicester. Tickets still available, but I was also going to talk about the boxer card.
Newark. It's in Newark. Yeah,
there'll be a link in the chat box below. I know Dad has got a keen interest on that card as well. So coming to the Friday night one. Friday night, obviously Lyndon Arthur fights against Suarez, is it?
Yeah, Suarez.
Yeah, Suarez. Obviously, Suarez, first time fighting outside of Argentina. Don't really know what we're getting, do we? It's for the IBO. Jack, what do you think of this card? Bearing in mind it's terrestrial TV, free to air, but it does only come on at 10 o'clock again on Channel 5 for the main event on what is a 12-card fight night.
I'm always confused by the fact that they do that, by the way. It doesn't really make sense to me. But with the Lyndon Arthur fight, Argentinians are normally game, so I hope they've done their research on him. Otherwise, this could be a cherry pick that backfires really badly. But on the other hand, if they have done their research, you've got to assume they're just trying to get Arthur the belt.
Yeah, do you think it's true, Jack, when they say the IBO is a gateway to some big fights?
Well, it can be. Look at Maxie Hughes. I mean, he's got fights out of it, but I think it depends who you are, really.
Yeah.
In this division, though, light heavyweight, Cole, I don't think it is because the division's too stacked.
Tied up at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the big guys have got big fights. Is there anyone that hasn't? Waxy maybe, but that fight doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so cheers, Jack. I'll move on to Sean. Sean, what are your thoughts on the card? Again, terrestrial TV, so Channel 5 are doing the best, aren't they, to bring boxing free to air?
Yeah, I think it's a really good card, and also there's a local lad, well, for me, in Harley Eubank on the fight as well. So looking forward to see how he gets on. And I think for Lyndon Arthur, I think he'll come through this, and then I guess they'll be looking at a world title for him in the next sort of 12 to 18 months or so.
Just while I've got you, Sean, a quick side topic. Does Chris Billing-Smith sell out that stadium at Bournemouth?
Yeah, right. I think he probably does because I think it only holds sort of 10,500, 11,000. So yeah, I think he does, but I think it'll be a bit of a struggle for Boxer if I'm being honest.
he needs a decent dance partner then, right? World title fight, I'd imagine.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's the WBA they're going after, aren't they? Which isn't necessarily the sort of the best opponent for that, but good luck to them.
And what are your thoughts on Channel 5? Obviously, we've had Kaj Sahol on the channel.
Yeah, I was going to mention that with Jack saying he doesn't understand the 10 o'clock thing. Jack, if you watch the Kaj Sahol interview, he explains why.
Oh, does he explain it? Okay.
Yeah.
He explains why that is. Obviously, as head of sport, he wants boxing to build on terrestrial TV. You know, he'd like. I'm sure. You know, he didn't say it outright, but I'm sure he'd like shows to be longer. I'm sure he'd like more shows. It's just they're competing against big numbers on other things, aren't they? On it's all a numbers game, isn't it, on terrestrial TV?
Yeah,
that's kind of where it comes from. Back to the fight night. I like Lyndon Arthur. I think that yard fight does him a disservice because I don't think he was right. The way that he got took out in that fight, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Something was going on there because it's like he had nothing left. It didn't really make a lot of sense. I think he's better than that. Do I think that winning this IBO puts him back in the mix? It helps, but unfortunately, he's at the back of the queue now. You know, you've got 3 or 4 British light heavyweight fighters in front of him that are going to get world title shots before he does. But it's a great division in England. I think it's great.
Shout out to Pat Barrett, who I really rate as a trainer.
Yeah. Very good.
Daz,
yeah, he's a very good trainer.
Daz, what are your... I don't know if you've caught sight of this card.
Yeah, mate, yeah. Obviously, I mean, I like Lyndon Arthur as well. You know, very good fighter. You know, like I say, he wins his title. It helps put him in the mix. I don't think it's going to make everyone stand up and be like, "Wow," you know. But it'll put him in the mix. I'm also interested. I'm interested to see Chloe Watson as well. If she gets shown for obvious reasons that you never know might happen down the line. Good to see her. But again, I've seen Chloe fight before. Very good fighter, and seems like a very, very nice woman as well. So I wish her all the best.
So that finishes off the Channel 5 show. Moving on to the boxer show. Obviously, we've got Lawrence Okoli out against David Light. First time in over a year that Okoli's been out for obvious reasons outside the ring. I'll come to you, Andy, on this one. Obviously, Fraser Clark on the card as well, who should get a few rounds. But I'll ask you a frank question. You know, if this was Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn, would we be going in on this card?
Yeah, we'd be slaughtering it, mate. It's not a very good card at all. It's very lightweight. It's a very poor opponent. I don't really know what's going on there.
Mandatory opponent though, right?
Yeah. But this is obviously a case of let's just get you out, let's get your name back on Sky, and then we'll make the big fight. Because we obviously, you know, it's obvious that what they're aiming for in the summer.
Yeah.
That fight's going to happen in the summer. It'd be nice if Riakporhe got one of the other titles first, though, and it was a unification. I'd prefer that to happen. Whether that's going to be the case or not, if they can get Riakporhe a title shot before, that would be great if it was for unification, and that's a massive fight, then, isn't it? The problem is neither of them have got high profiles, Cole.
No, I was going to say that.
And I don't think they're massive ticket sellers either.
No.
I really like Richard Riakporhe. I think he's real quality. And I've said it on here on numerous occasions. I think he's the best cruiserweight in the country. I think he's better than Okoli. And I think you'll see that when they fight each other. I really do. He's got scary power. Scary power. He hasn't helped himself though, because he had a period of time out of the game, and he was on a bit of a roll at the time, and it just went, and it's taken all the steam out of his sails, and he's had to rebuild. But I really do believe he's the best best cruiserweight in the UK.
So Ryan says he must be talking about Akola. Doesn't want to fight on DAZN, has no TV access for views, but who is going to watch this? I'd rather watch Love Island and never watch that shit. I do think Ben Shalom's got a bit of work to do with these cruiserweights to raise the profile, though. He's a promoter at the end of the day. So he's lucky he's got Sky, because you have to put some effort into raising these guys' profile before the summer, for me.
I tell you who would raise their profile massively if one of them can get the Badou Jack fight.
Yeah.
Badou Jack's a name known here because he fought Groves, he fought DeGale.
Yep.
Let's be honest, I think any of the three that we're talking about beat him at the moment, because I think Badou Jack his age is showing.
Of course.
I want
any of those three beat him.
Jack, I want to get excited by the cruiserweight division, but the personalities don't really interest me, and I just don't think they do a good enough job profiling them.
No, I would go with you on that, because I mean, you know what? I know he's a long way off a world title, but the only one that I'm really sort of interested in personality-wise is that Vidal Riley. The one that interests me as a personality. Riakpor's a very good fighter. He's a nice enough guy when I spoke to him once, but outside of that, it's just not. They need to do something to really excite me. If they all fought each other, I'd kind of go, okay, I'm going to get into this because it's a decent fight.
Yeah.
Daz, question for you, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Sorry, Cole. This is in and around what your weight would have been, right?
What, me, myself?
Yeah.
No, I was heavyweight, mate.
What's your what's your view on these cruiserweights?
What do you mean? Is
Well,
how good they are, who's the best, or
yeah. Just as a general shout. I mean, you've sparred some real big names. We had conversations about that, and you know, I was quite surprised at some of the people you've been in with. So you've seen how hard some of these real big guys hit. Looking at Okolie and looking at Riakpor, I've told you what I think of who wins that fight. How do you see that panning out if it happens?
I've said for a while. I think Riakpor is the best cruiserweight. I've said it for a while. I get what you're saying about personalities and all this, but I'm old school, me. Just because you've got you sell a few tickets up back of talking some rubbish, don't mean you deserve a title shot. Do you know what I mean? For me, Riakpor's the best out of the lot.
He hasn't proved that though, does he? He
No,
hasn't been in with anyone yet.
I was just going to say, give him a chance to prove it.
Yeah.
Give him them, and it's the age-old adage, isn't it? They all need to fight each other. I remember. I was only young, but when I got into boxing. But I always remember in '80s, it was like the best in Britain would fight each other for the right to fight the best in Europe, for then the right to fight the best in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what happened with Unigan. But he fought the best in the world at the time in Donald Curry. What happened to that? What happened to that mentality?
No.
Money. That's what happened to it.
How can you be a world champion if you can't really call yourself the best in your own country?
What happened, in my opinion, Daz, is promoters, big promoters, negating the way around British titles and European titles and fighting fighting journeymen from Europe to get to get their fighters in world rank positions. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
It's because I don't care what anybody says. Winning a British title is really hard. There's so many tough fighters in the UK, all in all weights.
It's even harder to win one outright as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these big promoters that have got a lot of money invested in certain fighters, and Carl will say this. Conor Benn's one of them.
Yeah, of course it is.
He decided. Eddie decided he didn't want anything to do with the current British cruiserweight scene, the British welterweight scene.
Yeah,
because there was too many dangerous fighters in there.
Yeah, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt. I mean, the you know, and he's like you say, he's invested a lot of money in Conor. So, you know, he's a businessman as well. He's a businessman as well as a boxing promoter. He's not daft, Eddie Hearn. But going back to these cruiserweights, like I said, they just need to fight. Let's put them all in with each other, and then let's see who's the best. I mean,
yeah. Just for the record, I think Lawrence Okolie will knock Rapport out.
Oh,
yeah.
Do we all agree
We're having a Twix on it.
Yeah, and don't forget the full fat Coke.
Go on then.
Coca-Cola, I might add, just for anyone who mixed that up.
You'll be getting tested off at board. They need to fight each other, mate. They need to fight each other, and then let's see who's the best. I mean, listen, if Riakporhe can get a Badou Jack fight and it's a unification, then that's great. I do think Badou Jack's going to be a little bit protected now. Maybe have one or two more. You know,
I believe the only way. Also, I believe because how old is Badou Jack now?
39 or 40.
Yeah, so there may be issues with getting him approved by the board, so they might have to go to Saudi.
They couldn't get Lucas Brown clearance.
They couldn't get Lucas Brown, and Lucas Brown's 41.
Yeah.
Well, the board aren't stupid. Did you see Lucas Brown the other night?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, good point.
Made me want to get my gloves out.
I was looking at that fight going, oh my God, that would have been interesting.
Oof.
And I was looking at that going, thank God I'm nothing to do with this show.
Well, this is where Ben Shalom needs to earn his pound note, don't he, and get these fighters into the positions. Let's see how good he is.
Yeah.
I think Riakporhe fighting Badou Jack wouldn't give a true indication of how good Riakporhe is.
No, I don't think so either.
Just get him a belt, I think.
Yeah, Badou Jack, you know.
What about Bradis?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, he's still about. Yeah, he's still there. He won first round KO, didn't he?
I don't know, to be honest. Again, another one with no profile.
I just didn't know.
Yeah, I think he had won by first round KO. A month or so
that
ago.
guy that beat him, by the way.
Oh,
Jaya Yopataga.
That's him.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Right, okay. I didn't want to butcher the pronunciation, so thanks, Sean.
Interesting. Okay, anything else, Andy, you want to raise before we bring the show to a close?
No, did you want to mention the Greaves show at the weekend?
Yeah, I'll let you take it away. Go on then.
So Carl Greaves is a local promoter, manager, trainer. He's got his 150th promotion on Saturday night at the
some
showground.
Achievement that. Sorry,
it's amazing.
That's amazing.
Some achievement that. Well done, Carl. Well done, Carl.
He's obviously a very good boxing man as well, because you don't use Jack for matchmaking.
He's a top fella as well, Carl. Top bloke.
He has in the past.
Yeah, very selective though, Jack.
I just want to shout out one guy. Lewis Van Pooch has got his last ever fight this weekend in Bristol. I didn't want to let that go when we're on a show because I know you guys know him and
and you're on commission,
top
Jack. So
servant.
He's fighting another warrior in Seamus Devlin, I believe, isn't he?
No, he's not. Sheamus has got cut.
Oh no,
Has it?
Changed. Sheamus is gutted because it was a fight I wanted them to do years ago, and they were both like, "Well, neither of us can sell a ticket, so how does that work?"
Yeah, but yeah, back to Carl. Well done, Carl.
Quality,
brilliant.
Carl Greaves is a quality guy, innit? Quality operator.
He's a proper nice bloke in the industry as well, mate.
Do you know what, mate? He's a really nice fella. I like Carl. Got all the time at World, and you know what? I'm going to feel for him when Nicola takes that Commonwealth title off Emma Dolan.
Oh.
That was only a bit of banter, Carl. That's all. Bit of banter, mate. No,
Jesus.
listen, I've got utmost respect for Carl Greaves and Emma Dolan. She seems like a really nice girl, and I wish Emma Dolan all best. I'm sure she'll bring that Commonwealth title back home with her.
Wrong. I think one of his fighters is actually on the show having his 150th fight.
One of Carl.
Alexander's on his show. Yeah, Fons Alexander.
Has he had that many? I don't think he's had that many.
It's 149 on BoxRec, and his show it. And apparently he's out this weekend, and I believe it's on that show.
Right.
Because if he hadn't been out this weekend, I would have had his 150th. So cheers.
I'll tell you what, though, Daz. Andy gave a prediction on a certain fight, which I'll talk to you off camera about on Saturday.
Right, go on then.
He spoke to Emma Dolan about her versus Nicola Oatwell, but I won't tell you which way he went.
No, I did not.
That's one for off camera.
I want to be party to that conversation.
I was disgusted, Daz. Disgusted, but that's one for off camera.
It didn't happen, Daz. Don't ignore him.
Are you just winding everyone up, Carl?
Me? Surely not.
No.
I'll let you take it out, fella.
Go on, Daz. What was you going to say?
Well, we're just going to say it's obviously. I think it'll happen at some point, but
it deserves building that fight, though, Daz.
Like I said, I'm just tongue in cheek. Me, I just have a laugh, but like I said, I've got utmost respect for Carl Greaves, massive respect for him, massive respect for Emma Dolan as well, and I hope and I'm sure she will.
She wins it.
I mean, just like Nicola, Daz, just like Nicola, she was great to interview, and that's what the sport needs into individuals like Nicola and Emma, who can push it forward.
Listen, there's no need whatsoever for any of them to slag each other off, because the quality, and this is not just Emma and Nick, Chloe. I'm sure. I mean, Chloe's a flyweight, and but so it might be in the mix if she moves up and stuff. But the one that's being talked about at the minute is obviously Emma and Nick. And listen, I'm sure they'd have a press conference. They'd probably be chatting about stuff to each other. It's just business. It's just
business. I agree.
Yeah, it's just business. That's all. Obviously, Carl will back his fighter. I'll back mine.
It's what I was trying to tell Andy on Saturday. Andy, leave it. It's just business.
Mate, honestly, he sticks his spoon in that Andy, doesn't he? Tell you.
Well, that wouldn't spoon away, Carl, you knob. But all joking aside, I do believe there might be some tickets still available. So anyone that likes small old shows, if you're anywhere near the area, trust me, you want to get down to this.
Great value for money.
It's history making, isn't it? 150 shows is amazing.
I tell you what, right? And it's not just because I like Carl as a person, and he's a really nice fella, but surely he should be in line for some sort of recognition for what he's done.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
I mean, there's a few people, who have received. Listen, I'm not saying anyone's undeserving, but there's a few people who've got MBEs and stuff. I mean, listen, that the things that Carl's done for boxing in Midlands is, it's almost second to none, really.
Yeah.
At least in the Hall of Fame,
boxing manager, promoter, matchmaker, anything else that you want to throw in?
I tell you what, mate, it was a very good bloody fighter as well.
Yeah.
He had a left hook that were a little bit brutal. Yeah, he's a very good fighter, Carl, as well. He deserves recognition.
He knows the industry, don't he? That's
Inside out,
yeah.
Inside out.
And an absolutely genuine man, genuine top man.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think last time I saw him to speak to, I'm not sure whether I was in Rufford Country Park with the missus and he was with his missus and stopped and we had a chat for half an hour. I'm not sure if that was the last time I seen him or it was when I was in opposite corner to him. When Kyle Fox boxed Stanley Stannard, I'm not sure. That might have been the last time I saw him. But yeah, gentleman, mate, absolute gentleman.
We were at that show.
Well,
yeah.
That's before you jumped on Nicola Oatwell train, weren't it?
No.
Well, if you listen to on Saturday, you won't think so, Dad.
You need to shut up, you do.
That's what we had.
No loyalty.
No.
Absolute idiot you are, Carl.
For it if Nicola listens to this.
Listen.
I know.
Nicola listens to this.
I tried to stop him, Jack, but he's having none of it. I had to walk away.
Oh, yeah, give over, mate.
Oh, do you know what, mate? I can see it here. He's building he wants bottles thrown at each other if Emma fakes Nick. He's winding them up at press conference. He wants Emma throwing bottles.
Standing at the back of the room if that's the case.
Nick throwing bottles at Emma at lot.
It's what Andy does every time he's at a presser.
Sticks that spoon in, doesn't he?
We're banned from Sky and everywhere.
I wouldn't
Don't
put
even
it past
get
Andy
started
to
on
ask
the
the
move.
I think the fights like that, they don't need any.
No, they don't.
They sell themselves.
And it'll be a quality fight when it does. Can you imagine? It'll be a quality fight, won't it?
What we Nick and Emma? Yeah, mate. Yeah. Of course it would. Yeah, they're both very, very good. Obviously, they're both very good. I'm going to pick Nick.
And I will say, just before, you never know who's going to watch this. I'm on a wind-up. Andy didn't say nothing about Emma Dolan versus Nick. It's all a wind-up. So if you want to hammer anyone on Twitter, hammer me. Because I honestly don't care. So there you go.
Carl, that's just because you're terrified of Nicola.
No, it's not. It's because we're going down to the show on Saturday and I'm going to get knocked out by Carl Greaves.
Okay.
Sometimes, Jack, unlike yourself, the way you operate as a matchmaker, it's just the right thing to do. 1-1. Take that.
A great show again. Thanks to everyone in the sidebar. Thanks to everyone for being on the show again. Always a pleasure. Daz and Sean, you're becoming regulars. Well, Sean's been a regular for a long while now, but Daz is becoming a regular. Great to have you on again, Jack. Thanks to Lee for joining us. I know he had to jump off, but always great. We've all got different opinions on stuff, which is what this show's all about. It's all about giving boxing fans a voice. So hopefully we'll get a few more people in, a few more people listening, a few more people joining us. And we do the show every Thursday at 7:00. We'll see you next week.
I'll do the bit about like, comment, and subscribe, you amateur.
Let's have Carl on. Let's have Carl on next week.
Yes.
Cheers.